Yo, and away we go. Just take that Dragon Gate, and we are going to open your heart gates because this is Doc Delariat, aka Magnum Suchio, aka the Mochizuki Dojo Queen, aka the King of Gate. And I am here today to talk King of Gate with two wild Dragon Gaties. I got with me, of course, the other half of Problematic Dragon, Pumping Bomberman Drew. How you doing, man?
Doing phenomenal, Doc. Just ready to talk some Dragon Gate, see if we can't catch some people up. Hoping to have a great discussion and shout out to a wonderful tournament so far.
Oh yeah. Also joining us, you can follow him at Taykzy because like me, he also wished for KZ time, but it was never gonna be KZ time. I got with me Taykzy. How you doing, Tay?
I'm good, Doc. Thanks for having me. Excited to run down the tournament here on the eve of the finals.
Yeah, bro. I'm absolutely I am excited for this because we have uh two matches and a finals, and like we have four guys who are sure to show down. One of my favorite in the tournament has been Rita, showing out. Since he's won the tag title, he sort of found this other level of believability in his work, his movements, his there's a believability and grit to him now that you didn't see before. Even though he wears that bow tie, he's got to take that bow tie off eventually, right? And like, there's just this real grit to him that I love. It's this kind of grit that you see in guys like a Loki, like a Danielson, and like he's finding that in him. And I think that's like a Ishimori, that he's like finding his space, and I really like where he's gone in this tournament. Even though like the last win over Yamato was sort of like it was a fluke, but I felt like he was supposed to win anyways. And it's the tournament's been great. The overall history of this tournament, King of Gate, is no, it is not on the level of even a New Japan Cup. It's not on the level of the Five-Star Grand Prix. It's not on the level of, let's say, the the Noah N1 or this the AEW C2 Gringo G1. It is seriously because Dragon Gate has always been a tag promotion, a tag territory where they the trios belts are sort of seen like as on a certain level, put you on a certain level on the card, and because it's always been sort of a company that's based on these factions, these units. So tag team belts, trios belts have always sort of taken precedence, and this year Dragon Gate decided to put all the matches on their network, and I thought that was pretty interesting because we usually we just get results and we sort of just see like the matches that they want us to see. But this year they made sure that we saw all the matches. And I want to ask you guys who are your MVPs and what did you think of the tournament so far?
Well, so far, um, honestly, Doc, I've been really high on Gianni. From a guy that I thought looking in that he would have a couple of shine spots, and he's came back this year, around the middle of the year, and he's been hasn't missed a beat whatsoever from whenever he left off. Joined the tweener stable, Patra, and really done a lot with his year so far within Dragon Gate. Just running down the wins that he has had so far against Dragon Kid, which in of itself is a big deal. He ended KZ time, which is always the worst, and then in lieu of Bad Cop beating Gianni's stablemate, unit mate of El Cielo, which I had in the final four. Um,
Oh man.
I thought those two having a powerhouse match was really good. And my overall thoughts is really like, I would say in the year in which we could probably put the most shine on Yuki for his A return and all of the things that have gone on, him being gifted the high five flow. I thought it's really been Rita's breakout. And since they captured the tag titles, I don't know of anybody that's had a better couple of past months than Rita. Tay, what say you?
Yeah, I would co-sign that. I think the tag team of Jackie Rita has been the MVP of 2025 Dragon Gate, and I think both guys have had a lot of standout matches in this tournament, along with Shun. I would say if I was ranking them, I would say Shun has had the most impactful tournament despite the lack of ring time. Uh, Shun and Doi is my match of the tournament, and then Shun and Genki had maybe the most fun 2.5 minute match
Fun.
I've seen in decades, in a decade. Um, but Rita, and to a lesser extent Jackie are right there as well. I think I've wanted them to win the Twin Gate all year. I think they timed it perfectly because both those guys are just peaking at the right time here.
Absolutely. When Geiki hit that backslide on Shun, I was stunned. Like this whole tournament is full of like stun finishes. Like my pick for the, because we won on that challenge and like we all had our picks, and I don't think anybody's got it 100%. Because my pick for the tournament was Strong Machine J because I thought maybe they would do something with him, but I was wrong. And it's been a couple of things like that because like Madoka, Kikuta losing, guys like Shun getting out in in the second round. It's Mochi having his issues and getting out. It's been like a whole. It's been a tournament of change, a lot of changes, also due to injury, and it's been pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I think even despite the injuries, the upsets have really come out of nowhere that have made this exciting. Like, for instance, Hamari and Tanaka wrestled in the first round, and I expected the winner of that to beat Yamato. Unfortunately, both guys ended up hurt, so we'll never quite know there. But I would not have pegged Rita to be the guy to beat Yamato out of the young guys. He would probably be my last choice out of the three. But that's the way it played out was the most surprising way, which makes it rewarding to watch every match.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. What I thought were predictable finishes were actually the wrong finish. Like I really, really thought it was gonna be KZ time, but Johnny has that's my fault for being a fan of KZ. Like it's not 2018 anymore, and like it's not gonna happen for him. But I do want to say like the tournament itself has not been lacking. It's been something that I've. It's not like I'm invested in it, but just the fact that we're able to watch all the matches this year, and it's been like in snippets here and there. It's one of the easiest tournaments to sort of just like to take in because of how they presented the matches. You don't really have to watch like the 2 hour shows they have. They just really have been posting the matches themselves, and I think that's been a pretty neat way to take in the tournament. Uh, you know, go to well, what is their streaming service called?
Oh, the Dragon
Uh,
Gate Network.
Yeah, go to the
yep.
Dragon Gate Network. Watch this because it's just the way they have it set up on there. It's like separated by like the matches and all that stuff. So you'll be able to like watch just the matches and be able to watch the tournament itself unfold. It's
Yep.
really
And
interesting.
even the matches that are on shows that they upload the full show, they've pulled the matches out and put them in that catalog, so you can just watch all the tournament matches, which is great. I also love that they changed the format up. I don't know how often they change the format historically, but I love a single elimination 32-man tournament. I think that made this really exciting.
Yeah, what I hate is in America we always get these like 8-man, 16-man tournaments, and they take like 3 or 4 weeks to complete, and I'm like always like with it, but if we're comparing this to modern day, whatever else is going on, the AEW tag team women's tournament that's taken since I think August to start, and it's now December, and I think they're almost at the finals. Well, we don't know when it's gonna be, and like I compare it to the John Cena the last time is now tournament where they didn't have brackets until like literally this week. which is funny to me. And I'm pretty I'm pretty happy to say that of the December tournaments, King of Gate 2025 started in November. It's been pretty easy to keep up with and pretty worth it to watch.
Well, that's such a stark contrast, right? Because normally that's everybody's hang up about the company in of itself is the accessibility aspect,
Yeah,
right? Is most people think that Dragon Gate's going to be poorly produced and it's not going to go well in prior years. There is a lot of truth to that. I don't think for El Numero Uno, the original name of the tournament, that that we have always had a great thing to point to as Dragon Gate fans to say, here's why you should watch the promotion. But I definitely think, like, at bare minimum, not everything has been a four-star match, but everything has at least been worked hard in a promotion
yeah,
in which, like, you don't get an exceptional amount of singles. To have a singles tournament that we got to see everything from is kind of a big deal and something to hang our hat on.
yeah. It's really interesting, and as someone who's like a longtime Dragon Gate fan, back when Dragon Gate was two words, it's now it's one word. It's it's interesting. It's really interesting why they chose to do it like this year and the 32 man style tournament, single elimination tournament. I'll bring it up like this because I love tournament arcs. Who doesn't love the cell games? Who doesn't love the dark tournament? And a lot the single tournament format works in Japan, sort of like how they have fighting game tournaments, because over there you just have the single elimination, and it's cool because you see people drop off faster. When you have sort of the round robin aspect with some tournaments, and I'm gonna go off on this because sometimes I really just dislike round robins because of the amount of matches you have to watch. Like I know like people love like quality wrestling all the time, but when you have like a field of 10 of 20 and you have two blocks and like you gotta watch like 100 matches, that's insane. That's insane. So I actually love the single elimination tournaments more than round robins, and that's sort of my thing. And the ability to sort of just see that wins and losses matter in this kind of way, where okay, this guy loses, he's out. I love that. I love single elimination tournaments. Uh, Not to say that round robins always suck, but I just like single elimination, easy to follow. That might make me sound like an idiot, but
Yeah, well, like, it's just a matter looking over the bracket in of itself and just scanning over the couple of these matches. I really thought that Yuki has had as good of an expected tournament as one could imagine.
high flag flows
To
for
see him in
everyone.
the court, to see him in the quarters, I think Jackie, as Tay said, has just had an incredible tournament. I don't think Ishin, looking at it, I don't know that if we've necessarily appreciated his work in terms of effort, but Ishin's also been really good as somebody that hasn't gotten a lot of notoriety.
Oh, dude, Ishin's been playing his role as the bully so well in the tournament. I really like the first round match he had. Just an
With
Go ahead.
I had Monte going all the way to the corners and he squashed that day one.
Yeah, he got that win over Monte, and I was just like, wow, okay, maybe that. Because I think the second guy for me, like, because I had Ishin going to the finals. That was one of my guys, but then it's sort of weird to actually see it in practice, just to see Ishin like make it into the semis, and then if he does make the finals, that's gonna be crazy. But he is also one of those young guys, not necessarily named in the Reiwa Six, but one of those guys that is like
He's in
absolutely
the
ready.
next group up, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you think of just the Reiwa Six and you think of the guys that have debuted after the last one, Tay, do you know offhand which one of the Reiwa Six was the last to debut? I believe that it was Madoka Kakuta, but I could be wrong.
Hmm.
Strong Michelle J.
Yeah.
Kuda would be my guess as well. I'm not sure.
Um, I don't know too far off. I think him and Strong Machine J, and like I still have questions on whether it was supposed to be Strong Machine J or somebody else in that spot. Because the way that TN Revolution was being promoted before he got injured and the expectation that he was going to come in with, I still have some questions about that, but I would definitely put Ishin in that next group with Mochi Jr. and Homare and Ryoya Tanaka and all of these other guys who have
Kimura.
just come. Kimura, man, like talk about a blue chipper. That dude walked in and looked like he had been doing this forever.
We've been saying that about a bunch of guys. We said that about Mochi. We said that about Homare, and now we're saying that about Kimura. Something about that training over there in Dragon Gate, man.
Yeah, I think with the expectation, I don't know how Tay would feel about this, but I think like we were all expecting more from Ryoya for one reason or another. Injuries happen, got it. I wasn't in love with the Hamari match. I thought that like he had a pretty disappointing. We're going to talk about who shines, who didn't do as well, right?
Yeah,
Um, I don't know how Tay feels, but I would definitely say that Tanaka was relatively disappointing.
very bland for me. That's how Tanaka came off as bland.
Yeah, one match. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best showing from either, and then that's all we got from both because Amari lost and Tanaka got hurt. But yeah, I thought there was a chance Tanaka could go the distance and win the whole thing. So to kind of just have one ho hum match was a big disappointment.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Man, these cats in the backyard are either making a whoopee or fighting each other. I I think this tournament, if it's a sort of a preview of what we're looking to next year, it's going because they set up a couple of matches from the losses, and I'm pretty interested to see where they go with. Well, I know that Genki is not really going to get a push next year, but like I'm interested to see where things line up. And man, I'm just excited. I'm excited for the semifinals. I'm hoping for a finals of Rita versus Ishin, or even Yuki, because like Yuki sort of bullied him in their last tag match, and sometimes like the tag matches lead to the single matches, and maybe Yuki gets his win back in there. But it's a really interesting final four.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's a chance that any of the four can win. I would probably put Rita as the least likely, but
Hmm.
it wouldn't shock me at all if he did go the distance at this point as well. Um, so yeah, I think it makes for a really exciting final day.
I I think that um along those lines, I have to say Ishin is probably the least likely, in my opinion, to win it all. I think he gets to the finals. While Yuki's had a great year, I think they could take some of that, well, not take some of the steam, but kind of use or capitalize on that to get Ishin in a big spot. But I'd
Yeah.
have Ishin not winning the finals because I don't know if they're going to do the union or the unit, a unit thing he where Ishin also wins King of Gate. I don't know if Snake Skulls is that type of unit yet, where they just dominate everything. Um, I think it would be. I think this is where I gotta say, like looking at the brackets, I'm probably gonna go with Gianni. I know he's my MVP, and it kind of feels chalk to say that, but Gianni over Ishin, the way that things have been booked, and Gianni, the matches in which his things have been structured versus Rita. I think that you could do a lot to babyface Rita by having him get beat up by Gianni.
Yeah, I'm locked up with you on everything there. I had Gianni and Yuki as the finals, but I also have Gianni winning. I think someone from Saipasha winning this makes the most sense. I had El Cielo before the tournament,
Me
um,
too.
and I think they may have even pivoted because I thought he was one of the more disappointing guys. I don't think he really delivered in either singles match, and Gianni, they got a bit of lightning in a bottle, and I think it benefits everyone for him to win and give Teakta a big scalp to take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely co-sign with that. I mean, we suspect, we don't know for sure that El Cielo is TN Revolution, but I thought having Bad Cop beat El Cielo was an interesting thing because if it turns out that it is TN Revolution, Bad Cop, whenever he came back, he started using
The finisher,
TN
right?
the finisher, right? So I don't know. I think that might have been a thing. I don't know inside baseball on this, but if you told me, hey, they kind of looked at El Cielo out there and said, hey, you're not quite ready yet. You still got some rust in the same way that we were looking at Yuki earlier at whenever he first came back from the eye thing, and he just showed signs of rust after being gone for a year and a half. Tien was gone for even longer. So if you told me, hey, there was some ring rust there, body didn't feel great, he wasn't having a great showing, and they pivoted and said we're going with Gianni instead. I think there could be something to that, but I also had El Cielo in the finals because I thought it would be the most interesting story.
Yeah. You know, I know this person who wins King of Gate is sort of just gonna be sacrificed at the altar of
Yeah.
Kikuta. So it's gonna be very interesting to see a full on heavyweight fight with Johnny and Kikuta. Something that I would actually really look forward to because Johnny has been so awesome in this tournament. Like, um, if I was gonna compare him styles wise to anybody, you know, he's not the most advanced lucha guy out there in this promotion, but he's a really great brawler. And the thing about Dragon Gate wrestlers is they know how to do any style that you put in front of them. And I would love to see Kikuta versus Johnny like just trade lariats and just bash each other in the head with like gloms. I'm looking forward to that. But this tournament can go
Yeah.
any way. It would be so cool to see the year of Rita happen, where he wins this tournament and the tag titles. It's just very interesting to me. And
You
yeah.
you know who Johnny is reminding me of right now, just immediately within King of BA, is whenever Moxley first debuted in AEW.
Ooh.
Is is it's that same type of like danger vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's always had that aura. He's had some bad runs, but right now, because like he's been so intermittent, and whenever he's came in, he's swung the chain, he's done all the things and created an air of danger. So like in the same way that Mox was doing all of the hardcore stuff whenever he first showed up, um, I think that he's really embraced that kind of brawler archetype, and like they have a similar type of look also.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of physiques.
Yeah, yeah, because he's a big dude, but not like a big dude. When I first started watching, you know, like I remember Dragon Gate USA used to have Mr. Brody Lee do some shots. This guy is not Brody Lee. He just sort of has the beard and the chain, and they were both Brody sort of lookalikes. But
Right.
it's just sort of that level of, oh shit, something's gonna happen. Like you would get that when you see like Brody Lee, Luke Harper come into the ring, and you get that with Big Johnny here, Johnny Valletta. Like seriously, dude, you don't have any idea how weird this is to fucking have this guy and say like, oh yeah, he's quality now. But over time, some guys just improve. Because when I saw him in All Japan, he was like the shits, like the absolute shits. I was like,
Yeah,
I
and if people also like kind of squirmed at Kai whenever he first showed up. And I think Kai has been nothing but a net positive.
yeah,
Like we could go back and forth on whether or not he should have won the Dream Gate so quick whenever he debuted and stuff, and he took over as Z Brat's leader, and kind of got an immediate push. Uh, I don't know, Tay, how you feel?
Yeah, I co-sign a lot of that. I think I'm not super familiar with Gianni's past work. I've really only been catching back up with Draggate over the last year or so. But I would say there's been big improvements just from 24 to 25 with Gianni. And I think going from heel to this tweener turn with Cypatra has been really good for him. It almost makes him feel more dangerous because
Mm,
he's not doing the heel shtick, but he's still as scary and violent,
hmm.
which I think adds to like his air and his aura.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's that's absolutely what I do like. I do want to say this because when we talk about availability and in pro wrestling, I I want to say this. So on YouTube, the channel that plays pro wrestling shows on YouTube on in Japan, not on YouTube, but they have a YouTube channel, right? Called Gara TV, Gara Sports. You'll see the link in the episode description because I know I sent this to a couple people. But recently, there's like a Google Docs, a Google document where it has all the matches for Dragon Gate, Wrestle One, All Japan,
Oh
Osaka
yeah,
Pro, etc. And that will be in the link. So if you ever wanted to like watch like the big time matches in full HD quality, the link will be in the description. I want to thank Pump and Tay for coming on here and talking this stuff with me. And hopefully this comes out the day, right? This is recorded the day of the semis and finals. So hopefully you're hearing us, and hope if you're a maniac that stays up and watches it live, good for you. But hopefully you listen to this and like or if you're listening to this before you've even watched any sort of Dragon Gate, this is a really good primer for the finals, and I hope you guys watch and enjoy because I know I will be watching. And please, if you're gonna do anything, watch Tay's YouTube. You can find him at YouTube at Taykzy. How do you want to sell your channel, man?
yeah. Thanks for the shout out, Doc. It's a wrestling content channel mostly. I'm doing monthly top 10, so I'll have November out here in the next couple of days. But then some longer form wrestling stuff. With the announcement of TNA's TV deal a few months ago, I booked how I would book TNA's roster. It
Oh,
did feature a couple Dragon Gate guys to tie into this, so
I
you can
mean,
check that out.
they do have
I
that history of partnership because they did have, I think it was Speed Muscle in the World X Cup.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, but yeah, just if you wanted some quick recommendations for stuff outside of the major American companies. I do recommend AEW matches, but I got a lot of Drag Gate recommendations and some Joshi recommendations mixed in there as well. So if you're looking to expand your horizons and don't know where to start, you can pick any top 10 of the month. They're usually
Yeah.
only like 15 minutes or less. So quick viewing, give you some different stuff to watch.
Yeah, I know I watch it because I can't keep up with everything, and you do a great job of like telling me what matches are some things I should look forward to. I don't know if I'll get a chance to talk about it because I don't know if I'll be recording anything the rest of the year. So I'm gonna say this: the AMC TNA deal. All right, so we don't know what it is yet, and I think a lot of people sort of like put their are like making these assumptions about what it is. Now, if it's an actual TV deal where they do get the money to whatever produce whatever, that's great. But the rumors for so long were that it was going to be a revenue share deal, which makes the TNA show sort of like an infomercial, like when they were on Fox Sports 20 years ago. I find it interesting because AMC did want to get into wrestling. They had the Billy Corgan reality show like 15 years back. So for them, and we found out today, Carlos Silva sort of like put it all on WWE. We got this TV deal because of WWE. We're going to be with WWE after the news came out. Like, oh no, WWE might be breaking the partnership. What do you guys think about that?
First, I would say that I hope the best for TNA. While I don't have much interest in it immediately based on the roster, I always think that wrestlers should have an opportunity to collect a check whenever they can. Second of all, AMC has looked at whatever they could get from WWE going back, I think 2013. They were in the market for WWE material.
Yeah.
And then I want to say somewhere down the line after that cycle of deals, they also spun back around to WWE. I believe that they've had eyes on MLW before. They've had eyes on NWA. So AMC has made a push before, and I think for the current status with AMC down year over year in terms of gross revenue, I think they're both companies between TNA and AMC are probably primed, like if everything goes well, that it should be a good relationship for either one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would echo all that. So one of the things, if you kind of pay attention to the media landscape altogether and not just the wrestling bubble, is wrestling is some of the cheaper content that you can make throughout the year. Plus, you get um, it every week of the year. So we know they got paid 30 million. We don't know how many years that's for. If it's for 3 years, 4 years, if there's option years, what have you. Um, but if you think about it, a $10 million a year is probably like one like prime time big show, like a season of Mad Men or something. But instead of getting it for 10 episodes, you're getting 52 episodes of it. Um, so it's a good deal for the networks. And then the other thought I had is this the day it was announced? So we don't know a lot of the details like Doc was alluding to, but
Yeah.
um, it was announced that it'll be on both AMC and the AMC Plus app. And then I believe Fightful reported that it's also going to simulcast on the TNA Plus app, which I think lends to like what Doc was saying, that it's more of like a revenue sharing, because it seems weird to have AMC pay for it, but then it also to be on something unrelated to the app altogether. Um,
It's
so
that's the part
it'll be
that's a
fascinating.
little yeah, that's the part that was a little bit like, so if AMC's paying for it and then AMC's gonna have it on AMC Plus, why would they want it anywhere else? They would want you to just stay on AMC to watch it. They would care
Right.
about like, and like it's the ad revenue that they get because AMC Plus is like on things like on Prime. It's on stuff like on Roku where it's like a channel, and they would play ads in between, and it's sort of just like yeah, that's why it's interesting to me. We don't know where it is. We don't know what kind of deal it is. Uh, and you know, AMC also is known for canceling shows after the first season. So you know, it's just dependent on where it lies. We'll know more about this probably by January, probably like, and whether that's disappointing or enlightening, I don't know. But we don't know anything yet. So trying to come up with that sort of thing is a little bit wonky. But I am happy for the Hardys and Nick and Nemeth to get that big payday again. So good for them. Um, I'm
Yeah.
also I would be remiss to say this because you know all of us, three of us, we're all dog daddies. We're all dog guys, right? Want to say rest in peace, Larry. You know
Yeah.
it
Yep.
it it hurts. It hurts absolutely. It hurts to lose your pet, to lose your Furby. I lost mine, one of my boys earlier this year, and it's painful. So to CM Punk, to AJ Lee, you know, uh, my thoughts are with you. I sympathize with you. This really sucks. It really hurts, and um, he's no longer in pain. He's in a better place. But you know, we all wish we had our guys with us. We all wish we had more time with our boys and girls. But you know, that's life. And yeah, I want to thank Drew for joining me. I want to thank Tay for joining me. I'm gonna say this. This has been Problematic Dragon. Not that we're a Dragon Gate podcast called Problematic Dragon. It's just that that's what me and Drew have been calling ourselves. But you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this just a little bit of King of Gate 2025 coverage and a little bit of discussion because you know it's the holiday times and I always like going out on saying something positive to everybody that you love because we all, you know, in our lives, we're always going to have some losses, right? We're going to have losses, whether it be our pets, whether it be our family members, and whether it be our friends. It's loss is always hard, something hard to just deal with, something hard to contend with. And especially during the holidays, I miss my mom, I miss my grandma. It's just, you know, to all the people that you have around you who you love, just tell them you love them. It's easy. It takes like 1 second to say I love you. And yeah, take that as you will. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you, Doc.